People-pleasing is self-betrayal. Stop that. Do you bite your tongue when you have something important to say? Do you agree with opinions that make your soul cringe just to avoid conflict? Do you shapeshift depending on who's in the room because you're terrified of disappointing anyone? You've been lied to about what makes you valuable, and it's costing you your authenticity, your power, and your self-respect. Here's what no one tells you. Your people-pleasing isn't making you a good person. It's making you a ghost person. People-pleasing is self-betrayal. Stop it. Win the respect over approval. Let's cut to the chase. In life, you're not here to be everyone's favorite. No one can be. You're here to be undeniable. Stop trading your voice for a few claps from people who don't even know what they stand for. Today, we're dismantling the myth that being agreeable equals being good and giving you permission to choose respect over approval. We're covering 5 reality checks that will change everything. First, how being nice is actually killing your power. Second, why respect and likability are completely different currencies. Third, how to disagree without being an asshole. Fourth, why boundaries are the ultimate flex. And fifth, how to be okay with being misunderstood. 1. Being nice is killing your power. Let's start with something that might sting. You're not being kind. You're being invisible. There's a massive difference between genuine kindness and performative agreeableness, and you've confused the two to your own detriment. Constant agreeableness equals emotional self-erasure. Every time you nod along when you disagree, every time you laugh at jokes that aren't funny, every time you say, "I don't care." When you absolutely do care, you're teaching people that your thoughts, feelings, and opinions don't matter. And eventually, you start believing it too. You don't have to be rude, but you do have to be real. Authenticity isn't about being harsh or difficult. It's about being honest. It's about showing up as yourself instead of as whatever version you think people want to see. If everyone likes you, you're probably lying to someone, including yourself. Universal likability is impossible because authentic people have edges. They have opinions. They stand for things, which means they also stand against things. They make choices that not everyone will agree with. Audre Lorde said it best. Your silence will not protect you. People-pleasing won't save you from conflict, criticism, or rejection. It just slowly erases you until there's nothing left but a collection of other people's expectations. The power you're giving away through people-pleasing isn't just about external influence. It's about internal integrity. Every time you betray your own values to make someone else comfortable, you damage your relationship with yourself, and that's the relationship that matters most. 2. Respect and likability are not the same. Here's a distinction that will change how you show up in the world. Being liked gets you applause, but being respected gets you results. And you can't optimize for both without sacrificing your effectiveness. Leaders are often admired, not adored. Think about the people you most respect in your life. Are they the ones who always agree with you, or are they the ones who challenge you? Are they the ones who tell you what you want to hear, or are they the ones who tell you what you need to hear? People respect those who stand for something. They respect consistency, integrity, and the courage to have unpopular opinions when those opinions are grounded in values. They don't respect people who change their stance based on who's in the room. Don't mistake silence for approval. Just because people don't argue with you doesn't mean they respect your position. Often, silence means they've written you off as irrelevant to the conversation. They're not engaging because they don't think your opinion matters enough to debate. Respect is earned through competence, consistency, and character. Likability is earned through agreeableness and accommodation. The first builds influence, the second builds dependency, The first creates leaders, the second creates followers. When you choose respect over likability, you might lose some casual relationships, but you'll gain deeper ones. You might have fewer people who enjoy your company, but you'll have more people who value your input. You might get less superficial approval, but you'll get more genuine connection. 3. How to disagree without being an asshole. Good news, you can stand your ground without being aggressive. Assertiveness doesn't equal aggression, and having strong opinions doesn't require harsh delivery. You can disagree with grace, confidence, and respect. Start with phrases that acknowledge the other person while maintaining your position. I see it differently. I respect your view. Here's mine. Here's what I need instead. These phrases don't attack the other person. They simply assert your perspective. The key is to raise your clarity, not your volume. Confidence is calm. When you're secure in your position, you don't need to shout it or defend it aggressively. You can state it clearly and let it stand on its own merit. Practice disagreeing without apologizing. I disagree is not an attack. It's information. I have a different perspective is not rude. It's honest. That doesn't work for me is not selfish. It's self-aware. You can also disagree by asking questions instead of making statements. What makes you think that? How did you come to that conclusion? What would happen if we tried a different approach? This shows you're engaged with their ideas while introducing your own perspective. Remember, the goal isn't to win every argument. It's to contribute authentically to the conversation. Sometimes that means agreeing, sometimes it means disagreeing, and sometimes it means offering a third option nobody has considered. 4. Boundaries are the real flex. Here's something people pleasers hate to hear but desperately need to understand. If you don't set the rules for how you're treated, someone else will, and their rules probably won't prioritize your well-being. Boundaries aren't walls, they're filters for self-respect. They help you determine what you allow into your life and what you keep out. They're not about controlling other people. They're about controlling your own experience. When you enforce boundaries consistently, you teach people how to treat you. When you set a boundary and then immediately cave when someone pushes back, you teach them that your boundaries are negotiable. When you set a boundary and maintain it regardless of their reaction, you teach them that your standards are firm. Boundaries feel uncomfortable at first because you've been trained to prioritize other people's comfort over your own. But here's the truth. Your discomfort with setting boundaries is temporary. Your discomfort with not having boundaries is permanent. Good boundaries actually improve relationships because they create clarity. When people know what you will and won't accept, they can interact with you more authentically. When boundaries are unclear, everyone is walking on eggshells trying to figure out what's okay. The most powerful boundary you can set is with yourself. The boundary that says you will not abandon your values, your needs, or your self-respect to make other people comfortable. This internal boundary makes all external boundaries possible. 5. Be okay with being misunderstood. Here's the hardest truth for recovering people pleasers. Not everyone deserves access to your full explanation. You don't owe everyone a detailed justification for your choices, your boundaries, or your opinions. Being misunderstood is a side effect of being authentic. When you show up as yourself instead of as what others expect, some people won't understand you. And that's okay. Their understanding is not required for your authenticity. Don't water yourself down for people who can't handle the full version. The right people for your life will appreciate your authenticity, even when they don't always agree with you. The wrong people will demand that you diminish yourself to make them comfortable. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. Whether you play small or stand tall, someone's going to talk. Might as well be real while they're talking." Some people will misunderstand your boundaries as selfishness. Some people will misinterpret your honesty as rudeness. Some people will mistake your confidence for arrogance. That's information about them, not instructions for you. The people who matter will see your authenticity as strength. They'll respect your boundaries as self-awareness. They'll appreciate your honesty as trust. Focus on those people and let the others think whatever they need to think. All right, time for the truth. If your self-worth depends on applause, you're screwed. The crowd is fickle. You can't lead, grow, or evolve while begging for likes, online or in real life. You think you're being nice, but you're actually being dishonest. You think you're avoiding conflict, but you're creating internal conflict. You think you're preserving relationships, but you're preventing real connection. Your people-pleasing isn't protecting anyone. It's betraying everyone, especially yourself. When you don't show up authentically, you rob other people of the chance to know and connect with the real you. You rob yourself of the chance to be seen, understood, and valued for who you actually are. Stand up, speak up, and let the chips fall where they may. The people who belong in your life will stay. The people who only like the fake version of you will leave. And that's not a loss. That's a liberation. You are not responsible for managing everyone else's emotions. You are not required to make yourself smaller so others feel bigger. You are not obligated to betray yourself to earn approval from people who wouldn't know authentic if it slapped them in the face. Here's your assignment. This week, you're choosing respect over approval. Say the damn thing you've been sugarcoating. Set one boundary. Disagree once without apologizing. Say no, just no, and don't justify it. Stop asking permission to be yourself. Stop apologizing for having opinions. Stop shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Drop a comment below and tell me, I chose respect over approval when Your authenticity is your superpower. It's time you started using it.